I started working with logistics more than 10 years ago when I joined Toyota right after college. I studied business administration and I joined the Toyota production planning and control group. And that group was responsible for not only the production planning, the rhythm of production, but we were also responsible for follow-up of the supply chain of all the suppliers. And we were responsible for the logistics of parts. Me especially, I was in charge of the supply chain and logistics of the Brazilian made parts to supply an assembly line of the Hilux pickup truck in Argentina. So I was responsible for international logistics since the start. It was a great place to start and a great place to work. Okay, so the most important thing I think is a high threshold for frustration because you see that there is a lot of problems involved with logistics, and most of the times things are really not within your control. You depend a lot of suppliers, infrastructure, ports, airport. You depend on vessel capacity, aircraft capacity. So a lot of things are really not in your control, and our profession demands that we make the best choices that are available, come up with creative solutions, but yeah, there is so much you can do. You really have to have some high threshold to frustration, not get depressed when things are difficult or when they are hard, and keep motivated, to go to work and find new solutions every day. This is the most important thing for a logistics professional these days. Okay, the main difference is when you're selling in a physical facility. First, you have high inventory. You must have stock. Keep your shelves supplied. When you're working online, that's really not necessary. So you can be a marketplace, or you can drop ship or something like that. So this is one of the main differences. The other difference, when you are in a physical, a brick and mortar kind of shop, most of the times the customers come to you and they pick up their products. So you are not responsible for the delivery of those products. The customer himself is responsible for transporting those products from your shop to their houses. This makes life a little bit easier for these shop owners. Now we see more and more physical stores, these brick and mortar shops offering home delivery, but it's not everywhere. It's not 100% of the sales. So pretty much most of the revenue comes from customers that come to you and they pick up their own products and they go home. It's completely different from the online world, where the online retailer has to send, to distribute everything to the customer house. So it's sometimes very difficult to find the address. You have customers that want a really fast delivery. To keep the customers happy in this condition, to keep the customer satisfied, is very difficult, but it's very rewarding to the companies that can do it right. So, for example, Amazon today is one of, if not the biggest company there is in market cap, and mainly because they've been perfecting this business model year after year after year for more than 10 years now, and they are really efficient at this delivery, this distribution, and getting to the customer's house. Okay, companies that work with inventory, as I mentioned, is especially physical, brick and mortar type of companies. It's important that they have inventory. It's important that the shelf always has the products that customers want. They go to the store and they want to find, the products that they're being looking for. So that is important for these companies. As for e-commerce, for example, it's a really big advantage not to have inventory. So to drop ship, for example. And I think more and more we are going to see companies doing that. Companies doing maybe 3D printing on demand, or everything you can produce on demand if you have the right technology. This will open up completely new possibilities. Maybe the e-commerce of the future, they are only going to have few raw materials in their inventory, and they are going to produce everything on demand, maybe in small plants closer to the end customer, to make final delivery faster. So I think technology is opening up completely new possibilities. So now business models that don't involve having a lot of inventory of final product ready for delivery, sitting at the inventory. This is an advantage today. These are starting to operate in this new environment. Reverse logistics is the contrary of distribution logistics. So instead of going with, ready to use products to your customer, instead of delivering, for example, a cell phone to your customer, reverse logistics deals with the products, packages, batteries, everything at the end of their life, or products that did not fulfill the customer demands. So the customer wants to return those products that presented a defect when they arrived to the end customer. So all these products, they must come back through the supply chain, maybe to the manufacturer, maybe to some other third-party company that will, dismantle these products and start recycling them, or maybe fix them. So reverse logistics mainly deals with products that must walk back to the manufacturer or to some specialized company for another destination that don't involve sending the product to a landfill. Yes, yes. Sometimes tax benefits, because the amount of tax is so big. Sometimes the tax benefit is more important than logistics. But one thing you have to keep in mind is that in most places, tax benefits they expire over time. So they will work for 5, 10, 15 years, and then you don't have the tax benefit anymore. If that is the case, then it's not worth it, because logistics will stay with you forever. If you build a plant in a faraway location because of tax benefits, you will have to transport further for more kilometers, miles, more material, and you're going to have longer delivery routes to your customers. So your logistics cost is going to be increased, your CO2 footprint is going to be increased, and this is not good for any company these days. So one of the things involves what I mentioned earlier about reverse logistics and the CO2 footprint. So what we see more and more is some kind of environmental consciousness in business in general. And what we see is business striving, making efforts to reduce their CO2 footprint, their logistics footprint, reduce the amount of transport that they make, and at the same time increase customer satisfaction. So also there is a common term these days about circular economy. Business are designing and building products that are easier to recycle. So the reverse logistics will become part of a circular economy. So resources, material are going to be transformed in a product. This product is going to be used maybe for a very long time. Customers will receive spare parts to fix their own products, to keep their products running for longer. At the end of the product life cycle, the product will return to the manufacturer, and it is designed to be disassembled, to be recycled much easier than today's products. So what I see is, environmental conscience, reduction of CO2 footprint and circular economy, all these concepts kind of gearing up, and becoming the main topics in the logistics industry in the future.